Hi everyone, thank you for joining today's AJI Tech Corner. Today we will be talking about Google Maps, and I'm just going to go over a few key points that you guys can use to make it a little easier if you do use Google Maps on a daily basis. All right, so a few of us are going to open up Google Maps and scroll around aimlessly until we find something interesting, or most of the time we're opening the app with a distinct destination in mind. Now, luckily, Google Maps is driven by the vast search power of Google. So you would just tap the search box at the top here of the interface and type, or you can also speak into your phone, anything that works for you. So I know this isn't an app on my phone, how I'm showing you guys today, but unfortunately this is the only way that I can show you guys. So just for an example, if you wanted to search for an address or somewhere that you were going, you can see that if you search it in the search bar here, it would pull down a drop down of just some of the areas nearby with the same address, and then you would pick which one applies to you. Now you can see that it'll mark the area with a little red flag, so it'll show you exactly where it is. What you would do then is push on the directions icon here. Now, usually on your phone, it'll already have, the satellite of where you're starting from, your start point already set in your phone. So just for an example, let me show you guys. So I put in where I'm at right now and then where I want to go to. So here it brings up a visual of the road I'm going to take to get to where I want to be. It'll tell you, so I have 3 different options. So it'll bring up options. On your phone, it might look a little different. It'll probably pull up on the bottom of the screen, but it'll pull up options for you of the routes that you can take. So it'll go by the shortest route to the longest route, and obviously we are going to pick the shortest route. It'll give you little details like this route has restricted usage or private roads. You can click on the details tab and it'll just bring up some of the details in here of the route that you are going to take to your destination. So it is kind of neat. Let me go through a couple other things that you guys can do. Now for Google Maps, it's probably most used for their turn-by-turn navigation tool for drivers. And when it's paired with a nice dash-mounted phone holder, it can be a great choice for for using that. So I would suggest if you guys do use this on a daily basis on your phones, you can get a dash-mounted phone holder for your car. It makes it a lot easier to look at where you're going. So we went over how to get directions on the map. It will come up a little different on your phone, so let me just go through what it might look like. So if you do have Google Maps on your phone, you could probably just pull it up right now, and as I'm speaking, you can go through the steps with me. So to get driving directions on the map, you would simply search for a place. Once you've selected the correct destination, as I said before, it'll pull up a few destinations on the bottom. So once you've selected the correct destination, you would press the blue car button that is going to be on your app. So it'll look like this up here. So that's what it'll look like. It'll have a little car. So you would just click on that. In the bottom right corner of the app, you'll then be given a list of possible route options. So on the bottom of your screen, you'll see a few route options that you'll be able to take. It'll start with the quickest at the top, followed by other available options below, which aren't going to be as quick to get to your destination. Just below your destination entry, you'll see an options button where you can choose to avoid tolls, highways, or ferries if you want to be specific about your route. Now this is on your phone. This isn't something that I can really show here on the computer. Now, after setting your options, you would tap one of the routes to view the full route on the map. So this is what it would look like. You can then swipe left and right on the bottom bar to switch between routes, and you can also swipe up from the bottom to view the step-by-step directions. Now, I'm not sure if you can do that on here. Oh, so I guess you do have the options to do it on the computer. I can choose to avoid highways, see how it'll switch my route then. I can avoid toll roads, ferries. So it's kind of neat that you can do this and it'll give you different routes that you're able to take. So once driving, you can tap on the right side of the top bar to preview the next driving step. I don't believe that you can do that on the computer that I'll be able to show you guys. But if you want to view step-by-step directions, you would just swipe up from the bottom and you'll be able to view the step-by-step directions so you know what exactly is coming up next. Another neat thing that they have on here is if you're walking or you're riding your bike. I actually do use the walking one quite frequently, especially when I'm in like a small city. So just say you have a shorter trip and it's a beautiful day out and you want to use Google Maps for walking or biking directions. Things are far less complicated when you choose to navigate by foot or bike, as you'd expect, simply letting you choose your route and then sending you on your way. So that's a great thing about Google Maps. But the options for walking and biking are limited. You can simply use the options button to avoid ferries, and that's about it. So the one difference is when it comes to biking, where the routes will actually show elevation gains and drops for the duration of the route that you are taking. So if you are biking to this destination, it'll give you the details. It'll tell you how long it's going to take. So say this is the same route that I would take driving. So if I'm coming from where I'm at to my destination where I want to go with the red flag here, it tells me that it'll take 2 hours and 4 minutes to get there by bike. And that's a long time. I don't think I would ever actually ride a bike to that destination, but just for example, it does take 2 hours to get there. Now, if I was in a smaller city, this probably would be a good option to use. So quite frequently, I do use the walking app on here. It is pretty neat. The one difference is when it comes to biking, like I said, it'll show you the elevation gains and drops for the duration of the route that you are taking. If you have your phone mounted on your bike and easily accessible, you can also use many of the same voice commands covered by as you would in the driving section. So if you are using your bike and you have your phone mounted on it, you can talk and do it, and it'll put in the destination of where you want to go. So the next thing I want to go over, and also just let you guys know, the little bicycle icon up here is what you would click on if you were needing directions for riding a bike, and then they also have one for walking. So if I were to walk to that destination, it would take me 5 hours and 3 minutes. And it does have the details. Here's the route that I would be taking, the step-by-step directions. Another thing that they have is the transit. Now, I think this is only being able to use if you are near a transit, or you put in the address of where you are at and you are at a transit, then it would tell you the directions and exactly how long it'll take. But in my case, obviously, I'm not near one, so it's not pulling that up for me. But another neat thing that they have is being able to share directions for somebody else. So say you are in a specific area and your friends call you, or your family, and they want to know where you are, and they want to meet you for dinner. So in order to share step-by-step directions from one place to another, you would simply push the start and end points, or I'm sorry, you would simply put the start and end points into the Google Maps app. So just like here, like I did up here on the screen, you would choose a mode of transportation and a route. So if you're walking, biking, driving your car, and then instead of hitting the navigation button, you would press the menu button. So over here, top right-hand corner. Now you can see that along with the toggles for traffic, you'll see an option for share directions in here, I believe. So, yep, so share or embed map. So it'll look a little bit different on your map. So let me show you quickly of what it might look like. So here's what it'll look like on your app. Now if you click the three little dots at the top right-hand corner of the app, you have an option to share directions. So it is kind of a neat tool. If someone is, looking for a spot that you're at, or if you want to just share a place with somebody, you can share the directions with them. Another neat tool is the long press the blue button to jump straight into navigation. So when navigating places in Google Maps, you're usually given a choice of which route you want to take to get there. Just like I had shown you guys, it'll give you options down here. So maybe you know the area somewhat well and know that a particular freeway is better than another, or maybe you just want to use a surface street rather than the highway, but sometimes you don't really care how you get there, but that you got there as efficiently as possible. So to quickly launch into navigation, you would simply long press the blue navigation button. I believe it looks different on your phone. But it'll be a blue button at the bottom right-hand corner. Maps will then start to navigate to that place from your current location and take the fastest route possible. So that's just a quicker way to start the navigation instead of pressing, more than one button, because when we're driving, we're busy, or if we get lost or whatever when we're trying to drive, it just takes more time. So that's just an easier way to get things going. Another neat tool that they have is you're able to star locations to quickly recall later. So whether you pull up a specific point of interest or just long press on the map to drop a pin on an arbitrary place, you would tap on the bottom bar to reveal information on that place, and then tap the save star. So let me show you what that'll look like on your phone. So like I said, you would, if you want this to be added to your favorite places, you would tap on the bottom bar to reveal the information on that place, and then you would tap the save star. The location will then be added to your places. A list found in both the Google Maps app and the website. Starred locations will show up as suggestions when searching in maps. So when you are searching for a specific place, the places that are saved in your places might also pop up. Another great thing that I have been talking about throughout this webinar is the voice controls that you can use on your phone. So a few versions back, Google Maps added the ability to give voice commands while navigating, which I think is an awesome tool, because when we're driving, we obviously don't want to be texting on our phones. It does lower the number of taps it would take to get things done in the car or on your bike if you are riding a bike. While navigating, a single tap on the microphone button, you'll see this on your app, so it'll be in the search bar and you'll see a little microphone button. So if you just tap on that, if you just tap on the button, it'll let you then speak to the phone rather than taking additional taps to get things done. So just for an example, you could say things like, how is the traffic ahead? And then it'll give you just like an overview, detailed message of what the traffic is like. You could say show route overview. So then the map will then, instead of being, you know, close up like this, it'll go out and it'll tell you, it'll show you your route that you are about to take. So those are just a few of the tools that I use on Google Maps. I do use it quite frequently, especially when I'm in a small city and I'm just walking around and I can't find where I'm going. Then I will use the walking icon up here and I will type in my destination of where I'm at. But like I said, usually if you have like an iPhone or even an Android or something like that, it'll automatically already know your destination. You can have this set on your phone under settings. You can turn on your destination. So if you're on apps like this, it'll already automatically know your destination from where your starting point is. And then it just makes it a bit easier for you so you don't have to find the address of exactly where you're at. So those are a few tools I would suggest. I would suggest just playing around with the app and getting to know it a little better, just so when you're driving, you know exactly what the steps you are going to take to get somewhere. Well, thank you everyone so much for joining me today. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me at support@ajicorporate.com. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.